Show of hands, who here has used AI? Generative AI, we'll call it. All right, love it. Who uses generative AI pretty much every day of your life? Less hands. Who uses AI multiple times throughout the day? Less and less hands. Who has AI integrated into the business systems you're already using so it doesn't feel like a separate tool you're using? Even less and less hands. That's the promised land. That's where we want to get, where AI isn't a separate tool I have to use. It's part of the business systems I'm using. AI is enabling me to be successful. We wrote a little limerick of our own for you, and we used AI to help with this one. So a speaker named Greg P. awaited his intro with glee. Will Connor rhyme Pollock with frolic, or perhaps something more bucolic? Greg pondered as tense as he could be. So we cheated and we used AI to help write that for us, because I use AI for everyday tasks, right? I don't use it as just a one of over here. As I'm doing my job, I think, how can AI help me with this? Now, I want to put us in the Wayback Machine for a second. Does everybody remember Web 2.0? I was going to blow our minds, right? And then we had blockchain. How many of us use blockchain on a daily basis? Like, not really, right? Kind of, maybe. IoT, the Internet of Things. Is everybody Internet of Thingsing in here? No? One person? Okay. What about augmented reality? Do you ever walk around the trade show with like a headset on in VR trying to experience it? No. So all of these cool technologies came, but they didn't change our daily life. And we think that AI is literally going to change your daily life and the way you do pretty much everything you do. So we broke it down into some tasks that we think we all do. And we wanted to chat with you and sort of share some of our ideas on how we think AI is going to help you with those things. And then because I'm a sponsor, I'll tell you how our software helps you with those things as well. Hopefully you'll notice that marketing did not build this presentation. We used AI to build this. So all of the images and all the slides, we just prompted AI and it helped us build our solutions. So the first thing we want to talk about here is rapidly consuming information using AI tools. So let's think about, we as the humans are being bombarded with data every day, right? We get more emails than we could ever read. We send more websites than we can go to. We have to watch all these videos. We have to download the podcast. We have to read that 400-page PDF that ASE just published. I saw it on LinkedIn. I gotta go read that now, right? We're on Zoom calls. We're on conference calls. We're in that meeting that we missed, and I'll send you a link to it, and you can catch up tonight. And I think our problem as humans is we can't do all that stuff, right? There's too much for us to be able to consume all this knowledge and digest it and turn it into something that's useful. So I use AI for this all the time. How do you use AI for this?
Thank you, Greg. Show of hands, have you guys ever been looped into a giant email thread and you have no idea what they're talking about? Yeah. I use AI frequently to read through that email and just summarize the ask and understand what's going on. It's really fantastic at cutting out all of the extra back and forth and getting to the point. I also use AI to transcribe audio and or video to text, so that what you talked about in a meeting doesn't just evaporate after that meeting into the air, that you actually have those relics to refer back upon. We use it to summarize texts. So you take that text that the AI generated from that meeting and turn it into meeting notes. You can make it easier, so you can make it easier for yourself to stay up to date by consuming more and more journals. Recently, I saw that the White House had published a report on quantum post-cryptography. What does that even mean? How does that affect me? And so I used AI to understand what that meant and what those recommendations are and how it will affect each of us into the future. Really, I use it all the time to consume more and more data, more and more articles, so I can stay up to date. I use AI to change that unstructured data into structured or restructured data so that I can process it and easily understand the data. Lastly, image processing. A picture's worth 1,000 words, but which words? You can use AI to tag and categorize those images so that they are easy to find and you can add them to your content.
So as long as you're following your company's AI policy, which if you don't have one, email Reggie Henry. He has a great policy he'll give you out of the box. Follow your AI policy and use the AI tools you're allowed to use to do these things. take that giant email and copy and paste it over and say, hey, summarize this. What are the things I need to know most about this? What are my action items coming out of this? I'll tell you, I cheat and I record every call I'm on, and AI transcribes that call for me, and it tells me what I'm supposed to know and allows me to search for notes. When we built our session, I took notes and then I put them in AI and I said, help me summarize the key themes we talked about. I presented at ASE Annual a couple weeks ago, and we had a couple of Zoom calls. I recorded those Zoom calls. I put them in an AI tool, and I said, what should our session be about? Tell us a topic that's going to get selected. What are the bullet points we need to make our slides from? And AI helped with all this. So the goal here is there's all these tasks we, the humans, are asked to do all the time that AI can be a huge help with. Now, we at Higher Logic are building these tasks into our community. So the first one is a bulk upload to libraries with generative AI titles. This sounds really fancy. What it really means is when you take that book back to the library, do you walk it back to the shelf and put it on the shelf yourself and update the card catalog? No, the librarian does that. So what we've added is an AI librarian. Anytime one of your members puts a document in your online community, AI will read the document. It'll give it a title. It'll give it a description. It'll tag the document for you. So instead of having all these PDFs with terrible names like Policy 493, I don't know what that is. Is that something I care about? Right? It's going to give it a reasonable name. It's going to make it easier for people to find. The reason we did this is there were millions and millions of documents in the Higher Logic resource libraries that no one had ever looked at because no one knew what the heck they were supposed to be. Because the person who put that document in the library didn't take the extra time to complete the task, right? So here we're saying, AI, can you help out with these tasks? Can you do this for us and make our libraries more valuable? And the answer is, heck yeah, we can. So the next big AI thing we've added to help is tagging. All of the conversations your members have in the communities have some sort of taxonomy they fall into. But it can be hard for the humans to tag all those things. So we're asking AI, hey, anytime a discussion happens, can you just tag it? Now, why do we want to tag all the discussions that happen? Well, when we notice that Connor is interacting with AI, right, we want to apply that to Connor. So when we present something else in the ecosystem to him, like an email or a job or a virtual event he might want to attend, we can say, Connor loves AI. We should be sending him more relevant content. But that only works if we tag our content. So some of the ways we're using AI to solve those tasks that humans just weren't doing. All right, accelerate productivity by integrating AI into daily workflows. So when we think about our daily workflows, we think about all the tasks we have to do. We already had a session about automation, right? How do we automate the process of doing the things we want to do? So we at Higher Logic are building what we call smart and micro campaigns. The idea is an AI bot identifies you. You're the person who needs this specific nudge today. We're just going to automatically enroll you in that task. We're going to take you through the workflow. Now, the problem is, you as the human, are you going to build 1,000 workflows and write 1,000 messages and prompts? Probably not. So now we're using our friend generative AI to write the prompts for you. How do we encourage a student member to come to their first conference? I could write that email, but AI could probably give me a really, really good starting point, and I could review and polish that email. So we're spending a lot of time automating the process, but we're trying to find who should we automate and what should we say to them using AI, right? So we're still keeping the human in the loop, but we're letting AI do a lot of that heavy lifting on finding that right person with that right message. And how do we craft that for you today? How do you put AI to work?
Thank you. Really, I let AI do the work for me. Right. In the past, we've used search engines. We've been using them for years now. And what they would do is simply look for that text that you search for to match in the results that it's looking for. But the modern search engines can actually understand the content. They can personalize results based on your past searches and include natural language to understand not just what you said, but actually what you meant. We use AI for things like this, presentations, and for images, just like the one that you see right now. I had a vendor give me a presentation maybe a year ago, and I was absolutely just blown away at the quality of the image that they had made just for us, the American Library Association. It had 3 bookcases, and it was amazing that it was made just for us. I loved it so much, I made it the background for my computer. You can use AI to make your presentations bespoke and more impactful to the audience. The days of clip art are really well behind us. I use AI all the time for writing. For example, like we said earlier, when you take an audio transcript, I turn that into meeting notes literally within minutes of finishing the meeting. And people were like, think I'm a wizard, but like really, it was very simple. I just transcribed that while we were talking and then told my AI to, hey, summarize this and give me all the questions and answers and the action items. And bam, I got it in a couple of minutes. I used to dread writing emails to members or all staff. Now I use Claude AI to draft those messages. I also use it, we can also use it to translate our content and make it available to a much wider audience. Next, I use AI to develop and debug code. Maybe even write Excel formulas. That's, even something as base as that. Recently, I needed software to pull out the text and links out of thousands of PDFs, and I searched the internet. I couldn't find what I was looking for. And just on Saturday, I used an AI to help me write a Python program to do that. I've never even touched Python before. And it came together, and I published it on GitHub. It's Extract PDF Text is the name of the project. You can check it out if you want to. But it was so easy to do. It really does lower the skill threshold that you need to be productive and then also increase your productivity. These systems are being used widely to secure our organizations. They provide advanced security analysis so that you can take a proactive approach instead of being reactive after you've been targeted. Our next speakers will talk about this in greater detail, so I won't try to steal their thunder, but they can also produce data dashboards so that you can analyze that data and increase democratization of that data. Put it in other people's hands that maybe don't have that experience with the data analysis, so everybody can understand it.
So imagine putting AI to work for you. We're trying to write an email for this specific member and compel them to take this action. We want to put a really good image there that's going to help them understand what we're doing for them. We want to put a really good call to action for them. Well, how do we do that? We have all this data behind the scenes. We can use that data to prompt the AI. We have a student member who looks like this, and they've done these things, and they haven't done this. And here's all what our student members who look like them do next. Help us create that journey for that student member. Help us write the image. Help us write that email. Help us craft that call to action so we can put the AI to work for us and help automate a lot of these tasks. Now, I ask, are you using that in your tool? So in our marketing tool right now, we've got our friend Floyd the Frog, and he is our AI assistant. He now exists in our email tool. Whenever you go to write an email, he says, hey, how can I help you write this email better? What are you looking to accomplish? Do you want a template? Do you want a guide? Do you want me to help translate it for you? I use this because I write my email and I say, translate this into a professional tone. Translate this into a student tone. Add emojis. Add calls to action. Help me write a better subject line. And the AI assistant is great at doing that. The AI assistant's coming to all the other places you would create content. So blogs, event descriptions, just making web pages on your website. Our AI assistant's going to be there to help you automate some of those tasks so you can be better at it. Now, we got this little creepy image of the robot just paying attention to what we're doing here. This is really important whenever we use AI. And anybody who's used AI will know this, that AI is not perfect, right? So we wanted to introduce this concept for you about human in the loop versus robot in the room, right? Like who's leading the project, who's driving who? Are we looking forward? Are we looking backward? How are we using AI to help us be successful? How do you feel as somebody who uses AI all the time? Like, is AI guiding you or are you guiding AI? Like, who's leading who here?
Great question. I love AI. I literally use it all day long. But what it outputs is not Showtime ready, hardly any of the time. But it gets me going way faster than I could have otherwise. It fails frequently. Have you ever had the experience of using spell checker and it checks and the word is spelled correctly, but it's not what you meant? And one of my favorite examples of this was using defiantly instead of definitely. I wrote an email to my boss telling her that I had an opportunity for some public speaking. I forgot the L in public, and it was not what I intended. It can make things look right to itself, but it can't really ensure you got what you wanted out of it. Just for example, in this slide right here, it should actually read work without supervision. It's grammatically correct, but it missed it. It has the mistake, and I didn't realize it until I saw it a little bit later. So AI can do a lot for you. It can plan workouts for you. It can plan your meals for you, but it can't go to the gym for you. It can't make you eat your broccoli. So you really have to be in the front seat to make sure those things are getting done. and not just support it. It's a fantastic tool, but it's not necessarily just a solution.
So I think if we could summarize our presentation today, we the humans are asked to do all these tasks every day to help us be successful as humans, to help us be successful in our jobs. What are those tasks we can start asking AI to help accelerate? How can it help us be more creative? How can it help us be more personalized? It's not the end-all solution to everything we've ever needed, but it's a really good assistant to sit there and help you with what you need to do, what that task is, with how do I automate it. So for all the people who said, yeah, we use AI, I'd encourage you, what are the more use cases you can use? For those people who say, yeah, I have AI, I use it all the time, but it's not in my enterprise tools. How can you work with your vendors to get AI in the tools you use every day so you're not going somewhere else, violating your corporate policy, and giving your information to an AI bot that it shouldn't be sent to? So my last slide was supposed to be a beautiful slide with a QR code marketing sent me. I didn't put it in here. We're going to put a human in the loop. I've got Chris over here wearing orange. Can't miss him. If you want to ask more about some of our AI tools, come see us at our table over there. We'll tell you all about them. The humans will explain it to you, how they work, as opposed to some AI video that marketing wanted me to send. So thank you, everybody.